Hi, I'm Aidan Sofia Earle. I've lived in Rochester about 4 years now, and I consider myself a collage artist at this point in time. I studied painting in undergrad, and then I went on about a decade later to do an MFA in sculpture. The thing that I think defines my art practice the most is my experiences working in various creative fields. I've worked as a custom textile dyer and painter. I've worked in props and costumes. And then I've also been able to work in a number of galleries and museums over the years as a preparator and art handler. During my time here at Comp Studios, I'm finishing up a series. I define a geographic area in Rochester and collect discarded items from the streets in that area, and then create collages that speak to that place. Often they're landscapes or they have recognizable land features. So behind me is Rochester's High Falls. The collage is made up of items that I collected from either side of High Falls. And then I use embroidery thread and paint to work back in. It's an additive and subtractive process. The objects that I found around High Falls, a lot of the things you would expect: bottle caps, bottles, labels, cans. But there was one day that I was passing by a building and someone had put out trash, and it looked like they had cleaned out someone's old home, and it was starting to blow across the street. And there was like an old collection of stamps and letters. And so there's a bunch of different stamps up there. I like to make up stories in my head of like why it's out there or who let it go. It's an act of discovery both for me with the materiality of the objects, and then also an act of discovery for the viewer in that they keep seeing things they know or they're familiar with, or that might, create a story in their heads as well. My hope is that when people look at this work, they're reflective on our consumption habits as humans. I think there are so many things in our lives that we throw away every day. I also like the idea that we all have to live with what we've done. So we as humans have created this environment. You can't hide it. It's everywhere. It's in the suburbs, it's in the city, it's everywhere. How we deal with our waste is going to become increasingly more important. And there's something horrible, and there's also something kind of humorous about what we see and encounter and have to deal with every day. I hope that you can make it to First Friday for our opening on June 5th. We can talk further about everything we've been doing over the last month or so. We'll also be here on June 6th and June 13th for open studio hours.